Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I would like to share with you an interesting game from 2019 European Chess Championship. This game was played in round 2 between Armenian chess grandmaster Samvel Ter-Sahakyan and Spanish chess grandmaster Salvador Gabriel del Rio. But before starting our game, as usual, would like to sharpen your tactical skills. Please take a look at this position, which is taken from Alexander Alekhine blindfold simul. In this position, Alexander Alekhine managed to find a brilliant continuation. Please pause the video and try to find the winning line for white. I will wait for your answer in the comment section. Back to our main board, and now without further ado, let's go for our game and see what happened on the board. Ter-Sahakyan opened up with e4 and Gabriel del Rio responded with e6. Black goes for French defense, d4, d5, knight c3, bishop b4. We have the win-over variation, e5, the advanced variation, c5, a3, bishop takes c3, b takes c3, knight e7, queen g4. The queen is instantly targeting black's pawn structure on the king's side using the absence of the dark squared bishop. Here Gabriel del Rio castled king's side, bishop d3 and f5. Another popular alternative is knight c6, but in our game we have f5. Here white captured en passant, rook takes f6, bishop g5, rook f7, queen h5. This time white is targeting the pawn on h7 and is forcing black to create a weakness. g6 is on the board, queen d1, queen a5. This time we have bishop d2 and knight d7. A bit awkward square for the knight. Later we will see that black is intending to bring this queenside knight on f6 and this knight on c6, but playing knight c6 straight away could have been better, or even e5 is playable and then knight b c6. But in our game, after bishop d2 we have knight d7. Here comes knight f3, c4. Yes, black is looking up the queenside, and then let's see how will black organize his game. Bishop e2, knight c6, white castles kingside, knight f6, rook e1, knight e4, bishop f1 and bishop d7. Not a good continuation. After this move, white is managing to gain advantage. Instead of playing bishop d7, it was better first to go for the exchange on d2 and then develop the bishop, but in our game we have bishop d7 straight away. And it was in here that Ter-Sahakyan made a very important decision and he went for an exchange sacrifice. Believe it or not, but he captured on e4. But let's see where is white's compensation. D takes e4 and knight g5. With this exchange sacrifice, white managed to weaken black's pawn structure in the center, and now yes, these pawns can become a target for white pieces. Rook f5. Otherwise, if a move like rook f8, then white can simply capture on c4, and then yes, this is even worse for black. That's why after knight g5, black attacked white knight. Rook f5 was played, and we have knight takes e4, queen d5. And another powerful move by Ter-Sahakyan, this time g4. Look at this, guys. Yes, with this move, white wants to bring his bishop on the long diagonal. Queen takes e4 was played. Yes, seeing that his position is hopeless, black wants to get a rook and a knight against the queen. But even if a move like rook f8, then again, in this case, white has a huge advantage. White can play bishop g2. The threat is knight f6 check. That's why black should move away his queen, and then bishop h6 is coming. Yes, black's position is totally lost. There are so many weaknesses in black's camp that black won't manage to hold this position. Yes, actually white has a huge compensation for the sacrificed rook, and it's very difficult to play with black pieces. White pieces are simply dominating the position. Let's go back to our main game. In our game, after g4, as I've already mentioned, Gabriel del Rio captured on e4 and we have bishop g2. Queen takes g2 is forced, and we have king takes g2. Rook f7, queen e2. If we have a look at the position, black has a rook and a knight against the queen, but as mentioned above, that's not enough, and white has a huge advantage. This time Ter-Sahakyan is coming after the pawn on c4. Rook c8 was played, bishop g5, knight e7, we have bishop takes e7, knight e7, bishop takes e7, bishop c6 check, king g1, rook takes e7, and finally the pawn on c4 drops. Actually, there are still some technical problems in realizing the advantage because still black's position is solid, but now we'll see how Ter-Sahakyan will manage to realize his advantage. b5, f3, rook f7, king f2, king g7, queen e3, rook e4, queen d2, rook f4, queen e2. Yes, in here we have a very beautiful staircase type pattern. White is moving back his queen on d1 square from where it will overprotect the pawn on f3, and then is playing king e3, preventing any possible unpleasant rook e4 checks. King f8, queen e2, king e7. Black is centralizing his king, but where is that king going? Rook h3 was played, king d7. Well, in here, black could actually go for bishop takes f3 move, but the thing is that this pawn endgame is totally lost for black. That's why black played king d7, but even in this case, yes, black is losing. Queen h2 was played. Already the threat is queen takes f4, and if you move away your rook, then white queen will penetrate the 8th rank. That's why black played rook takes f3, and after the exchange of rooks on f3 we have king d2, king c6, and finally after queen b8 black resigned. There is no chance to save this position. Let's take a look at one of the possible lines, and if king b6 then a4 is coming. You can't even capture on a4 because of the c4 move. Yes, that's why after queen b8 we have a resignation. A very interesting and instructive game, I think. First, I liked that exchange sacrifice on e4, then g4 was a very strong move, and finally the staircase pattern where white moved his queen on d1 was also very interesting, and all in all I liked this game very much. Thanks for watching. If you also liked this game, give the thumbs up. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. Also press the bell button to get notified about new uploads. I will see you in my next video. Take care.